Hey guys, welcome to the Weekend Recap. I'm editor Adrian from here at Rabona TV, and I thank you for joining us as we ride across Europe and the UK together. The top 4 leagues all included. And for the final time this month, I thank you and everyone else who has donated to our fundraiser to help stop systemic racism via the NAACP's Legal Defense and Education Fund. We've almost hit our goal. We're so close. I'm pretty sure we're going to smash it, as on Tuesday, I'll calculate all the revenue from the Weekend Recap this month and make another donation. Remember, there's a link in the description for you to help in a non-monetary fashion, but equally as important. So whatever you do, thank you. And in the words of Raj and Devo, to the football. A couple of competitions were in play this weekend in England, as both the FA Cup and the Premier League had matches running. In the Premier League, on Thursday night, the inevitable happened in Liverpool getting crowned as Premier League champions following Chelsea's defeat of Manchester City. But still, just because it was coming a long way off doesn't make it any less impressive. They clinch it with 7 matches remaining, the earliest any team has ever done so. And I personally, as a neutral, can't help but feel happy for their fan base. This is a club that was far and away the most dominant team in England through the 80s, had way more titles than any other team pre-Ferguson joining United, and they at one point had to come to terms with the idea of potentially not winning the league again. Some fans thought they wouldn't see their team do it again, but they have, 30 years on. I've never seen Liverpool win a league title in my lifetime, not once. So congratulations to all of the Liverpool supporters out there. Strange circumstances for some of you to see them win their first title, but something tells me you won't have to wait nearly as long to win the next one. That aside, we had Wolves taking on Aston Villa on Saturday as Nuno looked to extend Wolves' impressive unbeaten run to try to make it the longest current unbeaten run in the league. And they did. Den Donker scored his 3rd goal of the Premier League season to win the match for Wolves, and that unbeaten run stretches to 8 matches now, 3 wins on the trot. And while they've played 1 match more than Chelsea, currently, they're only 2 points away from 4th, which is extremely impressive. Aston Villa, man, like I said in my preview, they're in big trouble. They've been poor against the top 10 teams, and they play Liverpool, Man United, Crystal Palace, Everton, Arsenal, and then a massive matchup against West Ham on the final match day. They've got it really tough. Southampton bounced back from their 2-0 loss against Arsenal with an important 3-1 win over Watford. Watford, another team that is unstable and in a bit of trouble here, or at least could be. But my guy Danny Ings with the brace, scoring his 17th and 18th of the season. He's now 2nd in Premier League scoring and has scored 44% of Saints' goals. What a guy. Doing it for a bottom half of the table team. He's 3 away from equaling the goals he scored in the 2013-14 season for Burnley in the championship. All right, quarterfinals of the FA Cup, and Manchester United got things started on Saturday as they took on Norwich. Considering how well United had been playing coming into this match, they did struggle against Norwich. That said, they played a bit of a rotated lineup, and this is a Norwich team that, well, this is the only competition that they had any chance of finding some sort of joy in, you know? Ighalo scored his 3rd goal in his 2nd FA Cup appearance for United, his 5th for United since joining them in the January transfer window. You gotta feel happy for the dude, living out his dream of playing for and scoring for United. He's averaging a goal in every other appearance for United at this point. However, Todd Cantwell sent a swerving shot that dipped past Andres Romero in the United goal to tie things up and send it to extra time. Before extra time, however, poor Norwich had it even more against them when Tim Klose got himself sent off. He perhaps saved Norwich though, a professional foul that United couldn't score from the free kick on. They almost made it to penalties, but a truly ugly goal from Harry Maguire just dragged United over the finish line, and they'll be glad that they got it done before the shootout. I mean, we all know that shootouts are a lottery to begin with, but with Tim Krul in goal for Norwich and his heroics and penalty-saving pedigree taken into account, you gotta feel like the odds would have been in Norwich's favor to advance had it gone to the penalty kicks. So 2-1 United, the final after extra time, as they move on to the semi-finals. Sheffield United and Arsenal faced off in another quarterfinal, with Sheffield in a serious slump since the return of football in England, while Arsenal, they're Arsenal, you know? David Luiz extending his contract with them is peak Arsenal. Anyways, Arsenal had a solid first half, I thought. A fairly balanced first half as they went blow for blow with, though I do feel bad for Sheffield overall. They went blow for blow with Arsenal, as I just said. Had a goal called back 10 minutes in, went down 1-0 thanks to a penalty from Arsenal's Pepe. And in the second half, they were much, much better than Arsenal, had another goal called back, leveled in the 87th minute finally, only for Dani Ceballos to score the winner for Arsenal in the 91st. Pretty interesting keeping from Dean Henderson there. One of the rare times that I thought he got it a bit wrong, the way he came charging out like that. But Sheffield, I do feel for them. They didn't even get the luxury of extra time, the poor bastards. Arsenal fans won't be feeling comfortable about that second half, and it's more it's been a just buckle up and hang on kind of vibe for the fans at that club. Arteta seems a capable manager, but the base that he is building on is a little unstable, so don't expect much stability as far as results go, you know? Later that day, Chelsea went to Leicester and Christian Pulisic. Round of applause, guys. This man is looking better and better all the time for Chelsea, and like I alluded to in my Premier League returns preview video, next season, Chelsea may just be the most, or at least one of the most entertaining attacking sides to watch in the Premier League. I know it's a tall order when there seems like Liverpool and Manchester City, but you add Werner and Ziyech to that attack and ooh, damn. Anyways, Pulisic didn't score on the day. That went to Barkley to win it for Chelsea, and his second half was, I'd say, an encapsulation of his career so far. Moments of real quality. I wouldn't go so far as to say moments of brilliance, but moments of real quality, and then many more moments of just dumbfoundery. That might not be a word. I don't think that's a word. But one moment in particular that left me dumbfounded was when Leicester had pushed all but two of their defenders forward and Chelsea transitioned into attack quickly and had a 4v2 situation. The problem being that Barkley was on the ball and he completely spurned the opportunity to make it 2-0. Imagine if Leicester equalized following that. He would be sitting for some time, I reckon. But they didn't, and Chelsea went through and later learned that they would be facing Manchester United in the semi-finals. The other semi-final, who would Arsenal face? Well, it was to be one of Manchester City or Newcastle, and there were no surprises in this one. I know, I'm sorry, I could have added some drama and went through this match slowly and dragged out the watch time a bit for this video, but there really were no surprises here as City looked quite good. Their league form slightly differs from their cup form. No, they won the League Cup already. They won at the Bernabeu in the Champions League quarterfinals and still have a second leg to play at home in that competition. And with their 2-0 win over Newcastle, they're now in the semi-finals against Arsenal, a team they love to slap around. They've beat them in 6 of their last 6 meetings, putting 3 past them in 5 of those matches. But if there's something to hang on to for the Arsenal fans, it's that Arsenal love the damn FA Cup and they may have a little bit of magic left in them to make that final. The magic of the FA Cup. But kudos to Newcastle. They weren't that bad against City, and they did make it relatively difficult for them. The Bundesliga played their final matches this Saturday, and boy, oh boy, what a wild ride it was. Wild results out there in Germany. First, let's look at the bottom of the table where the real drama was, where Werder Bremen needed to beat FC Köln and they needed Fortuna Düsseldorf to lose to Union Berlin if they had any sort of chance of making it into the relegation playoff. Not safety, but opposed, of course, to staying in the automatic relegation spot. Now they at least would have a playoff, hopefully. Well, for their part, Union Berlin did indeed defeat Fortuna Düsseldorf 3-0. Big loss there, handing Werder Bremen the opportunity to make their own luck. And what did they do? Werder Bremen, playing Köln, who are in absolutely terrible form, went ahead and won 6. This is 6-1. They move up into the relegation playoff, so they're not out of the woods just yet, as I sort of mentioned before. The relegation playoff is actually now how Union Berlin got into the Bundesliga. Just as a side note. What an escape, or temporary escape, that was from Werder Bremen. Major collapses from Köln and Fortuna since the return of football. You hate to see it. Speaking of major collapses, I would be surprised to see David Wagner at Schalke next season, as their return to Bundesliga action at the beginning of May couldn't have gone much worse. 7 losses and 2 draws. They were 6th when they returned, and they dropped down to 12th. 14 matches without a win. Majorly differing fortunes for Hoffenheim, who, after sacking their manager Alfred Schroeder, went on a winning streak that saw them climb up to 6th in the ranking, so they qualified for the Europa League, overtaking Wolfsburg at the last. Poor Wolfsburg, man. They had to face Bayern Munich on their final match day, and Bayern don't hand out any favors. They hit him with a 4-0 loss. Lewandowski and Muller both scoring. Another assist for Muller as he ends the season with 21 assists, while Lewandowski scored 34, his most fruitful season by 4 goals. Oh yeah, by the way, back to Hoffenheim for a sec, as Borussia Dortmund finished their season with an absolute whimper. They're out of all competitions, and they finished things up with that 4-0 loss at home against Hoffenheim. That is rough, and I know they had nothing to play for, but come on. That's not a good way to go out. A nice way to go out, though, is Timo Verner and his RB Leipzig career, as he scored a brace in their 2-1 win away to Augsburg. He ends the Bundesliga season with 28 goals and 8 assists, which is not bad at all, as he helped RB Leipzig into the Champions League once again. They're still in the Champions League this season, by the way. Now, Bayer Leverkusen did indeed win over Mainz in their attempt to grab the final Champions League spot, but Marco Rose said, no, sir, no, not today, as he and Borussia Mönchengladbach beat Hertha Berlin 2-1 at home. They were so dominant in the first half that Hertha didn't even get to attempt a shot towards Jan Sommer in goal. Borussia Mönchengladbach back in the Champions League. Oh, Italia, lovely Italia, where you can witness the entertaining football of Atalanta, and they didn't disappoint once again this weekend. After 45 minutes, they were locked in a 1-1 draw following goals from Kevin Lasagna, the best name in the Serie A for Udinese, and Duvan Zapata for Atalanta, assists by none other than Papu Gomez. And hey, did you do your homework and watch my video on why you should watch Atalanta? You should watch that video, and you should watch Atalanta, because if you did, then you would know that they lead the league amongst goals scored by substitutes. And Luis Muriel, the Colombian, just pushed that number a little higher after coming on in the 52nd minute for Atalanta. 20 minutes later, he stood over a free kick and whipped it so ferociously that it rippled into the top corner side netting of the goal. Beautiful strike to make it 2-1, and he added a 25-yard smash to make it 3-1. Keeper didn't even bother moving for either strike. He nearly scored another volley as well. Man, really in form on the day. Now, the Lasagna man did make it 3-2 with his second goal of the game, but hey, this is Atalanta. They only do entertaining matches, and if that requires conceding a goal to make it a little more anxiety-ridden at the finish, so be it. They've won all 3 of their matches since the return and have conceded 5 times in that time frame. These guys are amazing. Lazio had their 21-match unbeaten run ended by Atalanta earlier in the week, but they got back to winning in their match against Fiorentina on Saturday. Ciro Immobile scored to cancel out Franck Ribéry's goal from the first half. Yes, it was another penalty from Immobile, but his scoring record is still impressive to me. 28 goals in 28 games. Come on, you can't hate on that. Then, Luis Alberto scored the winner in the 83rd minute to ensure that there would still be pressure on Juve as Lazio win 2-1. And speaking of Juve, they looked uninspired in their first half against Lecce on Friday, Lecce being a relegation-threatened team. But they turned up in the second half at least, and more than made up for that first half. A penalty from Cristiano, as well as an assist for him for Paulo Dybala's opener. Then the late show, as Higuain and De Ligt scored 2 goals in 2 minutes to make it 4-0. Easy money. Massive turnaround in the second half following that absolutely narcoleptic first half from Juventus. Milan and Roma was an eye-catching fixture when looking at the fixture list for the weekend. A top 7 clash. Yes, we got to stretch all the way to 7th to get both teams in there. But Milan are in some great form at the moment. They won their first Serie A return match 4-1. And this weekend, a goal from Ante Rebic won them the match over Roma. A bit of a pinball goal, but I mean, who cares? He's in fine form, scoring 6 in his last 8 matches. He may have scored against Juve in the Coppa Italia as well, but he got sent off in the 16th minute, you'll remember, for that kung fu kick that he pulled. Çalhanoğlu converted a penalty in the 89th minute to give Milan the 2-0 win, and they're climbing back up alongside their former coach Rino Gattuso, who has Napoli flying. They beat Spal 3-1 this weekend, their 5th Serie A victory in a row, and Inter, they were hard to watch in the first half of this match up against Parma, and not a lot better in the second half. That said, following Gervinho's beautiful goal in the first half, what a ball, what a finish, Inter did claw their way back into this one to win. And here is the table. Juve still at the top, Lazio second, Inter in third, but Atalanta is coming for Inter now. They better watch it. And finally, let's talk Spain, as Barcelona's players would have gone to bed screaming Iago into their pillows as they tossed and turned to sleep, as this man, Iago Aspas, has continued his red-hot return to football with his third goal in 3 matches. And unfortunately for Barcelona and their bid to win La Liga, Iago Aspas' third goal in 3 matches was also the equalizer to make it 2-2 between Barcelona and Celta de Vigo. Earlier, Messi and Suarez combined for both goals, the Uruguayan providing the finishing touches on both occasions. That South American connection. That late surge from Celta, though, to tie things up to make it 2-2, as I said, will have Barcelona fans pretty anxious. Celta are in 17th. They look safe regarding relegation, but still, they should have been an easy work for Barcelona, even if Celta's league position is much worse than the quality that they do indeed possess, in my opinion. They have a ton of draws, 13 now, I believe, so they have just lacked some ability to kill games off. Barca fans will also be worried about Setien saying that it's difficult for Griezmann to fit into his system. More room to worry, the swap for Pjanic, which would send Arthur in the other way. This doesn't make sense to me at all, and I think it's time I do a deep dive into Barcelona to see what's up with this club. Where they're going wrong in the transfer window, consistently wrong, their financial hardships. Before we get to Real, let's see what else happened in the league. Atletico Madrid played at home against Deportivo Alavés as 2 former Benfica teammates were linked up in Lubomir Faisa and João Felix. Love to see it. And it was João Felix who left the happier party, as he and Atletico were far too much to handle for Deportivo Alavés. Saúl scored the opener after a great ball from Kieran Trippier. Solid match from the Englishman as he notched his 4th assist of the season. Later, Diego Costa scored from the spot to give Atletico the 2-1 win, their 4th victory in a row now. And I gotta ask Simeone if something's up, man. They've reverted to having more wins than draws. What's going on? I thought this guy wanted to win the league with more draws than wins. At the other end of the form table, that might be a little harsh actually, but Valencia are struggling still. 4 matches, 3 losses, and this week was another big L for them as Villarreal that doesn't make sense. What I'm saying is Valencia lost again while Villarreal are undefeated in 5 matches and have jumped up to 5th place. Gerard Moreno with a goal and an assist in the 2-0 win. That's 13 for him so far this season. And finally, Real Madrid played away to the bottom of the table Espanyol, and another piece of brilliance from Karim Benzema helped them on their way to a 1-0 win. His back-heeled assist through the legs of the Espanyol defender. Apologies, I can't remember who it was exactly, but editor Adrian will fix that in the future. His back-heel to Casemiro was the only goal of the match. Not very comfortable for Real Madrid. They didn't look that great, but they got the dub against the Espanyol team that is on their 4th coach of the season, man. What? So Real take 1st place back. Barcelona are 2 points behind them, while Atletico Madrid now have a 4-point lead over Sevilla, since Sevilla have drawn 4 matches in a row, man. Villarreal, welcome to the top 5. They deserve this. I love seeing Villarreal up there again. Take me back to the days of Riquelme. And you deserve a break from me. It's been, what, how many minutes now? But I'll be back for more this week. I'll do that Barcelona video and more. I've got that fire again. Thanks so much for watching. Your time spent here means a lot to me, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm editor Adrian. I love you, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao.